Good afternoon, guys. MWUSA Season 4, Episode 226. It is Sunday afternoon, and I know I said that Saturday I was going to go play some poker, and I did not go play poker. There was just too much stuff going on. This morning, woke up early and was helping a family member move. So we took a couple truckloads from one house to the other. Came back, second truckload, came back, did all these different things, and that took a lot of the day. And frankly, I was pretty beat after all that, and I really didn't feel like going on a long trip today. And honestly, it would have just been so late, and I was so tired already. It didn't make a lot of sense for me to take a long trip today. After finishing up moving and all that, I was dirty, I was sweaty, I was tired, but I had just received a check in the mail yesterday from Costco, and you get 2% cash back with a certain membership at Costco, and there's a limit of $1,250 back per year. And then, of course, I was using the Costco credit card, and it's the same. So whatever I get on this, I would get on the credit card. So I got a check for the full amount, $1,250 check. And I decided, well, let's go to Costco and cash this thing. I know in the past it's just been, you just go there and you just cash it and you're good. So I go to the office area there. And I said, I just want to cash this check. And they're like, oh, yeah, no problem. You have to do that at the register, though. Just buy whatever, and then whatever the difference is, they'll give it back to you. And I'm like, oh, okay. Really didn't want to buy anything, but I guess we could do that. So I found something I wanted to buy. It was like $5.39 or something like that. And I went to the register, and they rung it up, and I gave them the check, and they're like, oh, I don't have enough money to give you. I'm like, well, oh, you better find some money because, yeah, that's my change. So called somebody over and they're like, oh, no, we can't do that. It's too much money. We don't keep that kind of money around. Costco said that. We don't keep that kind of money around. We're going to have to write you a check. I was pissed off. I could not believe they're going to write me a check for a check they wrote me. They wrote me a check. I came to cash it. They wrote me another check. So they wrote me that check. I went back to the office and I said, look, I maxed this out, and I had just bought another membership because, I'd already spent over $50,000 at Costco in the last year, and I was going to spend more than that, but now I changed my mind. So let me have that money back. So they refunded the second membership that I got was like $130 or $135 or something like that. So they refunded that back to me, and that was okay, I guess. I was still a little bit cranky, but, one thing I forget sometimes is you can deposit checks on your app, and I haven't done it. I really maybe done it twice in the last 10 years. So I decided to go ahead and do that. So I deposited the Costco check into my account, which, whatever. So that's fine. And then I went home and rested a little bit. Actually, I went home and my wife was going to go do something. She had to pick something up from a friend. So I said, hey, I'll ride along with you. So I rode along with her, talked to her for a little while. And there's a new wholesale club in town. And they had sent us a membership for like nothing, $10, $15, something like that. So she had gotten it. And I said, oh, you got that membership for whatever, $10? Oh, no, I paid $40. I said, well, why would you pay $40? Well, if you don't have the full membership, you don't get this and this and this. And I'm like, whatever. So she got that. So we went there. She said, I just need to get a couple cases of water. I said, fine, let's go there. Couple cases of water. $130 later, we left with our 3 cases of water and a bunch of other stuff. So did that, got home, relaxed in front of the TV for about half an hour, then took a shower, and just taking off for the day. So change of plans today. We're going to go play some slots instead. We're going to go play some poker, possibly no limit, possibly pot limit, and then we're going to go back and check some slots again, and hopefully we make a reasonable amount of money. I hate not being able to go out of town but just time limitation, energy limitation, and then we have work in the morning. So that's what's happening right now. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A beautiful day for a neighbor. Let me see. It is 85 degrees outside. Feels like 85 degrees outside, so not too humid. Tonight it's going to get down to about 60, so it's going to be a nice night. Actually, it's going to get down to 56, so it's going to be a nice night. And we've been pretty lucky lately. Not too hot, not too cold. Pretty reasonable days, and so we're happy about that. Another sunny day today, and then the next couple days we're going to be possibly going to one of these county fairs, and if we do, maybe we'll win a contest. We'll see. And yeah, that's really what's going on right now. We're heading off to our first stop right now, and I'll be back to update you. All right, guys, I am back, and it was okay. It was okay. You know, this is not normally when I would come, and it actually reminded me, there was this couple that used to come in here all the time, especially on days like today, and just play and play and play all night. They would get so lucky, and they really didn't know what they were doing. They had an inkling of what they were doing, but not really. But they got lucky, and they played things way too early, but they got lucky, and they won some big jackpots, and they ended up cutting off their free play, even though in the long run they were going to be losers, and they ended up not coming in anymore. I haven't seen them in 3 or 4 months, along with another guy that they cut off his free play, and actually I think they just lowered his free play because he was winning too much, and he had no idea how to beat any machine, and now he goes to other casinos, but not here. But he was a losing player overall. So anyway, went in, started looking around, finally found a play, $3 a spin, played that one through. I was ahead about $80 after that one, and then I went a long time, like 35-40 minutes, couldn't find a thing, and finally found like an incredible play, and it was a play at more than one level, like 4 different levels. And the first level, terrible. Second level, terrible. Third level, terrible. And the fourth one actually paid me pretty well, and that got me up ahead like $206. Found another play at $1.50 and played that one through, and that one just went on and on and on, but it was giving me small wins along the way, so I wasn't really too upset about it, because I was making some money along the way. And ended up, when I left that one, overall I was ahead like 306, something like that. And then found another play that's really hard to find because so many people check it, and that one was at $3 a spin, and that one drug on and on and on. And actually by the time it paid pretty well, but not well enough. It wasn't really worth it overall, and I ended the overall session ahead $325. So played a lot of different things, a lot of different levels, and again, people aren't really showing up like they used to at some of these places. They pared back a lot of the beatable machines, and a lot of people just stopped coming in. It wasn't worthwhile for them to go a half hour, an hour or more out of their way to come here. And I'm lucky enough that it's close enough to me that some things are left for me sometimes. And it's interesting because I'll go 3 or 4 days and make like 150, 40, 30, 50, you know, back and forth. And then all of a sudden I'll hit one for 700 or 800 just out of nowhere. Someone leaves something big, and it's enough for me to kind of sustain things, keep things going, and keep it worthwhile for me to come back here. So at this point, the plan is to go play some poker. It's still early. I mean, I would just now be arriving at my original place that I would go to, just now be getting there, and I would have about 45 minutes before the shift change, and I'd want to get out of there within 30 minutes, and so I'd have to do a rush session or get on a poker list or something, and then wait for the evening session, and then hopefully get a good blackjack in at that point, and then it would be a long drive home, or I'd have to wait till the next shift after that, which would be really bad. So good for me, good start so far, and now we're going to go play some poker. I put myself on the list, but I'm 5th on the list. But I think there's a tournament going on, so we'll take a look. So once the tournament starts, you have between an hour or more to get in the tournament before registration closes. So we'll see what the table dynamics are at that point. If there's a couple good tables going with players that are beatable, we'll get in on the live tables. If not, or if it's going to be a long line, a long wait to get on the tables, then we'll probably hit the tournament, which, you know, tournament's not that fun to me because you got to play for so long, and unless you're the top 2 or 3, then you're not really getting much money. But if that's the only thing that's available, then we'll try that. So you do have to be a little bit more aggressive in these tournaments too, and you need to luck out. I mean, luck is just part of it. We call it variance, but really a lot of the time it's going to be luck, especially in these faster tournaments. So I think usually the evening tournaments at this place have a faster, what do you call it? You know what I'm talking about, not schedule, but anyway. So we're going to head over there and see what happens, and worst case, we'll go home and come back if we have to, if there's nothing going on at all, but we'll get some poker in tonight for sure. So that's what's going on right now. You're all caught up, and I'll be back to update you soon. All right, guys, I am back. Right now, I am half tempted to come out to the whole world and tell them who I am and totally destroy a couple politicians who are, by the way, on my side. They're on my side. They're people who are supposed to be doing what my side believes in, and they're so crooked. I'm seeing that they're so crooked right now. I'm about to out myself, say who I am, and bring proof and take these people down, because this is absolutely ridiculous. I did some research and gave this research at a meeting, and it saved so much money, millions of dollars. And now I'm seeing that the people who are behind trying to take this money are actually people that are supposed to be on my side. And now they're angry at me for bringing out the truth. And I've tried to stay out of politics. I really have. I've tried to say no politics, but I can't help telling the truth. And I'm so frustrated right now that I might just go take my bankroll and put it in TV ads and totally destroy these people at this election. I'm so frustrated right now. Totally frustrated. Anyway, how is your night going? Well, that's how my night's going so far. I sit down at a 1-2 table, and I immediately lose my stack. I buy in for 200, immediately lose my stack. I've got pair of aces with a flush draw against the guy who's got I got ace queen suited. Other guy has ace 5, flop the flush draw, turn a blank, river of 5, and he takes my stack right away. Then I get a text message with a screenshot of this guy bad-mouthing me. Someone who's supposed to be in politics, someone who's supposed to do the right thing, bad-mouthing me about something that he wasn't even associated with. And now it turns out that he may have been part of it, and he may be taking money from it if it had gone through, if I hadn't come out and shown the truth and let everybody see what the truth is. And then all of a sudden it was voted down because of me. And now I'm being accused of costing money when I actually saved millions of dollars. You know, when I'm talking about my tax money and my neighbor's tax money and my community's tax money, I'm dead serious about it. I'm not wasting that money. I'm not taking money, and I'm not wasting money. I'm doing what's right for the community, and I'm so frustrated. Anyway, back to poker here, if we could do it. If I can focus just a little bit. So I lose the 200. Next hand, I have jacks. No, I don't know how it went down. Oh no, I had King 10 was open-ended, and there are 2 jacks on the board, and I'm open-ended. Check, check, turn. No, that was a turn. Put the second jack on the board. So on the flop, I was open-ended. On the turn, a second jack comes on the board. And on the river, the ace comes, which gives me the straight, which gives the other guy the full house. And he takes most of my next stack. So now I bought in for 200 and lost it all. Bought in for 200 more and lost like 160 of it on that hand. So I'm down to like $40 or something like that. And yeah, I made down exactly $40, and I'm in for 400. And I don't know what it is. I was frustrated. I was angry, but I was so focused, and I was using that anger in a focused manner to play aggressive but intelligent poker. And things started turning around. And there was a hand where I had pocket jacks. The flop is 6-6-4. And I bet, and 2 guys call, and I'm like, what the heck is going on here? And I turn a jack, so now I've got a full house, unless someone has 2 6s. And I bet, and the other guy goes all in, and the third guy calls the all in. I'm like, one of these guys has got quads. That's the only thing that can beat me. If I'm raising and someone is re-raising me all in, and someone is going all in on top of that, then one of them's got to have quads, right? I ended up calling. I was down to almost no money. I ended up calling. I mean, I would have called either way. If it's quads, it's quads. I lose. And the river is nothing. I don't remember what the river was. I took a picture, actually. I could tell you what the river was. And both of them had a 6. One had a 6-7, and one had a 6-8. And I had raised pre-flop. Yeah, the guy next to me had a 6-8. The guy across had a 6-7. And I've got my last, looks like $47 on the table. And I call, I win. So that helps my stack. And played a few more good ones and got a little bit over starting stack, and then fell below it for a while. And I only played for an hour and a half. And let me tell you why. Because I was the first table in front of the cashier, and the cashier was so annoying, I couldn't listen to him anymore. And I got up and I said, I just want you to know the reason I'm leaving is because you're being so annoying. There was a tournament where the buy-in was ending at 8 p.m. and there were 3 people in line at 7:55. And he says, don't tell me you guys are buying into the tournament because I have the right to refuse. And I said, when I got up, I said, you're the most annoying person. All you've been doing this whole time is putting people down, annoying people, giving people a hard time. People ask you what the buy-in is. You're like, oh, for you it's this much, for you it's this much. All that garbage. And then someone wants to buy in at the last minute, and they have until 8. It's 7:55. I said, if it's 7:59 and I want to buy in, you're going to let me buy into the tournament. And he's like, what are you upset about? I said, because you're annoying, and now my table's going to break because of you. And the guy behind me, the dealer, says, I'm going to break the table. Is that all right? And he's like, yeah, go ahead. They broke up the table because there weren't enough players anymore. And I ended up coloring up and cashing out. I ended up ahead, $77. Very annoyed, very annoyed. Annoyed by what happened as I sat down, losing my stack right away, seeing these lies about me, and they're being actually sent out to multiple people. Luckily, one of my friends received it, and now I've got ammo here because now I'm really considering, this is a small race too, I'm really considering going big time on this race and even doing ads if I have to show the truth And this might become like big news because somebody's obviously stealing money here, and I might have to prove it. And I really don't want to. I don't want to do it, man. I leave that stuff for other people. All I was doing is a community service, helping people by exposing lies. That's my job as a hard-working American, as a Christian. That's my job, is to show the truth, to tell people the truth. And now I'm being pulled into this fight, and I am so annoyed. Ugh. I don't want to cost myself a week of Advantage Play. That would be like over $4,000 I could cost myself. But I almost want to do it. I almost want to start going from place to place, using my 4 days off, and just go from place to place, start talking to people, start getting information, Freedom of Information Act stuff, and really finding out what the heck is going on here, and really finding this out, and really exposing it. I'm so frustrated. I need to talk to my congressman, but I feel like my congressman may be in on it too. And in that case, that would be really sad, because he took over because a friend of mine who was a congressman died, and he took over for that person. And I would be so annoyed if he was the one behind all this. But anyway, I don't know. Sometimes I wonder if I should put this stuff up on the podcast. I mean, I don't. It's my life, though. I mean, I'm supposed to be telling you the truth about what's going on with me and my emotions and my frustrations and what I'm thinking and all that. So anyway, letting you go right now. Going back to the casino, and I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back. So I'm going to show you some ingenuity here, something that happened. Never be complacent. Never think that you know everything. Always think. Ask questions. I'm going to tell you what happened to me in this casino. So I go in, I'm looking around, I find like one play, and I'm like looking everywhere. Actually, you know what? I take that back. I found 3 plays, 2 of them on one machine, and I think I broke even or just barely made a profit or barely lost. It was on that one. But the first machine I played, I lost about $30. And, you know, I was already frustrated, and I'm like, I don't want to leave down. I'll just, you know, I got plenty of time. I don't have a lot of travel, so let me just sit around, look at things, and discover something and find something to play. So I ran across this machine, and I'm going to tell you the name of the machine. I've never done that before. The reason I'm going to tell you the name of this machine is because it doesn't matter. Because it's not something that you can beat, okay? But I beat it. So, MW, you're confusing the heck out of us. How did you beat it? There's a game called Vibrant Sevens, okay? And I'm walking around. There's 4 of these machines at this casino. I took a video, actually, of the play as it happened. So this game has a normal feature. This is a game I used to play a long time ago before I understood how to beat casinos. And the way it works is you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 reels, and it has all these goofy sevens, and sometimes it spins up, sometimes it spins down, sometimes it spins weird. It changes colors: red, white, green, yellow, all these different colors, and all of it means nothing. But the mini is always around $4 and usually hits by about $10, but it's uncapped. It can go forever. And the minor's usually around $20 or $15, and the other ones don't matter because it's very hard to hit anyway. It's not even worth talking about. I'm walking around, and I looked at these machines, and 3 of them had a mini at $4. One of them had a mini at $27. Thinking, from playing this before, I know that if it hits 10 or 11, that I would play it. I'm not saying it's positive EV. It probably wasn't positive EV back then, but I had some inkling about how some of these machines might work, like a must-hit buy, but this is what's called uncapped, which means it can go on forever, right? No one has ever told you to play an advantage play on this game, whatever I just said the name was, Vibrant Sevens, okay? So I'm like, why is it doing that? And then I remembered there's some games that have huge jackpots, like 10,000, 50,000, 100,000, And they're $1 and $5 games, and they have like 9 lines. And I found out that with these games, you're constantly putting money into the jackpot, but if you read the small print, you're only eligible to win the jackpot if you're betting max, which on the dollar ones sometimes could be $45 or $90 or $81 or something like that. And then most people would never do that, right? To win $1,000 or $5,000 jackpot, they're not betting $81 or $90. Most people aren't anyway. Unless you know how often the jackpot comes up, and then you might have an idea. If it's $1 million, obviously, if this was $1 million, you would play it, because it usually hits between 10 and 12, 10 and 15, something like that, right? But it's not worth putting your money into it because nobody knows how often it hits. There's no easy way of knowing. So I put my voucher in there. I started with $100. I had like a $70 voucher, and I pushed the highest bet, which is 125 plus 10, and the 125 will give you just a regular game. You can get free games, but you can never win the jackpot, all right? But if you do the extra 10 cents, you have the chance to win the jackpot. Well, somebody had been playing it at $1.25 instead of $1.35, which means that money was being put into all the jackpots, and they weren't eligible to win it, and that's why the mini got so big. Well, I pushed that max bet button, and it didn't let me bet it. I pushed the second highest button, and it let me bet $1.25. I went back to $1.35, it wouldn't let me bet it. So I'm like, I have a feeling I know what's going on, because I'm familiar with a lot of slot machines, and sometimes people hit them hard, and the little thing at the bottom of it that holds it in place pops off, the wire pops off, and the button isn't actually pushing anything. It's not depressing anything that makes it do anything. So you push it all you want, it'll never spin. So I pushed my service light button, and nobody came for like 15 minutes. I'm like, I don't care how long it takes. I'm down like $30. There's no games available right now, and I'm gonna play this and I'm gonna win it. So I waited, and finally 3 people show up at the same time. And I explained what happened, and the most senior one of them, there was 2 ladies and a guy, and this guy I know has been around forever. And so he's like, oh, I know what it is. He opened it up, and he looked, and the button wasn't in its place. I'm like, all right, let's go. So he puts it in its place, and I test it, and it works, and I start playing. Well, I'm in it for about, let me see if I can see here. I'm in it. I don't know how much. I can't zoom in on it. I think I'm down like $30 on this thing, and I hit a bonus. The bonus pays me $200. It's like some weird thing. And I was just pushing buttons just to make the video go faster. And I'll go back and look at it, but I think it was something like 7, 2x, 7, 2x, 7. And it paid like $200. But it didn't pay me that bonus. So I kept on playing it. And finally I ended up hitting another bonus, and it paid like $5. And then I hit a third bonus, and it put me into a thing, and it was 15 free games. I got an additional 15 free games, and in that it triggered something. I think it's just a random thing, and it triggered the bonus, and I had a chance at a $27 mini, $18 minor, $154 major, or $1,000 maxi. And of course, what do you always win? You win the mini, which is what I wanted. I ended up hitting it, and that's all I needed. So I ended up going from minus $30 to plus $209 on that. And I'm not saying it was the greatest play in the world, but I had a feeling that it was long overdue. Someone was putting money into it, and they weren't getting anything out of it. And so it ended up working out. I guess without that 200, I would have ended up still down like $15-20, but it ended up happening. So actually, it would have been I probably would have been about even, because that bonus would have paid something. So I just want to tell you, keep your eyes open, look for weird things like that. Who would have found that? I mean, of all the people listening, who would have found that? So, and then I did talk to one of the candidates running, who's actually friends with the person who's giving me a hard time. And I said, look, I don't have a lot of money. I'm not a rich man, but I'll cash out everything I have to go after you guys if you guys don't fix this right now and admit what's going on. And if I have to, I'll go to the news. I don't care. You guys better fix this. So he said, well, give this person a call. I said, I will give them a call again tomorrow. They didn't answer the phone today. I will give them a call tomorrow, and this better get straightened out. So we'll see what happens. They're going to do the right thing, or I'm going to do the right thing, one way or another. So anyway, right now heading toward home. And we could do our segments here. What did you eat today, MW? Interestingly, this morning I didn't have anything to eat for breakfast, but I skipped church to help somebody move, and his wife got everybody McDonald's cheeseburgers, which I'm not eating. So I took the bread off 2 of them and I ate them, and they were so salty. I haven't eaten fast food in so long. They were so salty. I give them like a 4 on a scale of 2 through ace. And then my wife and I went to that wholesale club, and she ended up stopping by their deli and buying a bunch of stuff. And then I noticed this low-carb bread, and I'm like, man, I would love to have some bread right now. And I looked at it, and it's 16 carbs with 15 fiber, which means it's 1 carb or 2 carbs, something like that, net. So I said, why don't we try this? And it was 2 loaves for $3.99. I'm like, oh, this is ridiculous. Let's do it. When we got to the register, it was actually $8.99 because it was in the wrong place. But I said, let's just get it and try it out. So she made me a sandwich, my first sandwich since February. And she had some ham and cheese and what did we put on top of that? I'm trying to remember. I said, either give me mustard or something else. She ended up giving me mustard, I think, anyway. It was an okay sandwich. I kind of feel like the bread was kind of like plasticky. I don't know if that's the right word, but I looked at it, and it doesn't have wheat in it. It has like wheat something derivative something. So I think they took part of the wheat and removed part of it, and then it has a couple other ingredients I don't understand that are probably the fiber portion of it, husks and something. But, I'll eat these, and I'll probably go back to what I was doing before. But it was nice to have a sandwich for the first time in 5 months, 6 months, whatever it was, 7 months. So I give that probably an 8, and that's probably being generous. But hopefully it was just the lunch meat, not the bread, and I can enjoy the bread later on. I might try to toast it and see if it's any different. And what did you tip today, MW? And, I was really, 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 really frustrated at that poker club tonight. Really upset. And part of it was their fault, part of it wasn't. Part of it was the guy being annoying, and part of it was this other stuff going on. And I think I won like 14 hands. And, no, I didn't. Like 10 hands. I tipped $1 on each and $2 on one that was a big hand. So I tipped like $11. What did you learn today, MW? I learned that sometimes, although I'm a patient guy, when you try to screw with me, when you try to steal from me, all of a sudden I'm a whole different guy. And believe me, I hate to do this, especially against people that believe what I believe. But if there's wrongdoing there, I'm going to uncover it, and it's going to be a huge deal. So I learned that my patience is there. You treat me well, and I'll treat you well. As a friend of mine used to say, you treat me like a human being, I'll treat you like a human being. And that's the way it's going to be. And in this case, something bad happened, and now they're going to have to fix it. So stay tuned for that saga. We'll see what happens there. And I'm really frustrated, but hopefully things all work out. For now, I'm going to let you go. If you have any questions or comments, my email is mwusa21@gmail.com. mwusa21 at gmail.com. See you next time.